Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maham Sethi, and today my topic of presentation is types of translation. But before coming to the types of translation, I would like to discuss what is translation. Translation is a complex and intricate phenomena by which we can convert one language into another language, or is the communication of meaning of source language text by means of an equivalent target text. For example, we have a sentence from an Urdu language, and we are asked to convert that text into an English language. So the process by which we are converting that text from one language to another language is called as translation. It's a very complex process because before translating we have to be very careful about the cultural background, about the historical background, about the sentence structure. We need to understand all such stuff before translating one language into another language. It's a very cognitive process of decoding language. Then, as we have talked about source language text by means of an equivalent target text. So what is source language text? It's a very important phenomena for translation because without this text we are unable to do translation. So what is source text? It is a written an original text or the text which is translated into another language. Like we have a text, as I have given you the example, we have a text of an Urdu language and we are asked to convert that text into an English language. So the text which is provided to us for the conversion is the source text. For example, we have a sentence, ye glass mera hai. So this is a source text and we are demanded to convert this sentence into an English sentence. So that English sentence would be the target text for us, but this Urdu sentence is acting as a source text here. What is target text? Target text is the text which is translated from the source text. As I said, that ye glass mera hai, so it is a source text, and now when we'll do its English translation, so it would be the target text, like this glass belongs to me. So this is the target text. Now we have the basic topic of our presentation, that's the types of translation. There are two types of translation: word for word translation and sense for sense translation. As it is very clear from word for word translation that it's the literal translation of the sentence which is given to us, or the poem, or the anything, any piece of literature or any piece of thing, written thing, which we are demanded to translate by using word for word translation. So word for word translation is also called as literal translation or direct translation or metaphrasal translation, because it does not convey the meaning of the sentence, it does not convey the sense of the sentence, it just convey the word to word translation. It just convey that what this word means and what this word means in that language. It is just doing in this thing. It is not conveying what actually the writer wants to say or what actually the writer wants to convey. It has different usages, but its usage depends upon the sentence structure of the language. If the sentence structure is acceptable by the language, then it's appropriate to use word for word translation. But if it's not, so we are not able to use word for word translation. For example, we have a sentence of a Spanish language and we want to convert that sentence into an English language. The Spanish is a source text and the English is a target text. We can do it, it's possible to do that translation. But if we want to convert the same Spanish sentence into a German or French sentence, so we are unable to do that because their sentence structures are different. So literal translation also denotes translation which can convey a precise meaning of text but does not attempt to convey its style or beauty. Like it is unable to convey the style, sense, or beauty of the text. It's just conveying the precise meaning, that what this word means in that language, nothing else. It's it has different usages, but it can be a bad practice somewhere and it is a good practice somewhere. Where is it a bad practice? While translating idioms, it's a bad practice because idioms are something which are something else and are giving the sense of something else. Like we have an idiom, it's raining cats and dog. So if we are going to apply sense for sense translation or word for word translation on this sentence, so it's like kutte aur billiyan baras rahi hain. But in actual sense, it's like it's raining very heavily. But word for word translation has changed the whole meaning of the sentence. It's like changed the whole concept of the sentence. It's like the dogs and cats are coming down from the sky, but it's not happening. It's like raining very heavily. And where it's it's good practice for scientific, technical and technological text, not for the literature kind of text. Okay, then comes the sense for sense translation. What is sense for sense translation? Sense for sense translation is an oldest norm of translation. When translation is made in another language where text is translated into target text, and the focus of translation is conveying the original sense of text or meaning of the text. For example, we'll take the previous sentence that it's raining cats and dogs. So if we were taking the word for word translation, it was like it's raining kutte aur billiyan baras rahi hain. But if we are going for sense translation, it's giving us the complete meaning, what the writer wants to say, that it's raining heavily outside. So sense for sense translation is giving us a sense of the sentence, like it's sadak par goliyan chal rahi hain. So if we would go for that word for word translation, so it would be like bullets are walking on the road. But if we will, it's impossible that bullets are walking on the road, so it's just conveying the literal, whatever literal senses the sentence is giving, but it's not conveying the actual meaning, actual sense of the sentence. Like there was exchange of fire on the road. What does that mean? There सड़क पर गोलियां चल रही हैं, there was exchange of fires on the road. This is sense for sense translation. It's presenting us the sense, conveying us the meaning, that what the writer wants to say, what the author wants to convey. So this is like word for word translation is good in some places, but it's not good for everything. It's not good for literature, it's not good for idioms or anything else, whereas sense for sense translation conveys the meaning, conveys the idea of the text, and word for word translation just convey exact words meaning of the sentence.